Hi there, this is Harry and welcome back to my advanced English classes with Harry. So, what are we going to look at today? Well, as you always know, we try to help you to improve your English, to get a better understanding of your grammar, to look at phrasal verbs, expressions, vocabulary, pronunciation. And today we're going to look at other ways to say it's hot in English. So these are advanced vocabulary words, how to explain that the weather is hot. And if you're somewhere in the summer enjoying those hot days, well, you might enjoy these particular words. So I'm going to go through them one by one. I've got a list of them. There are 12 this time. And then I'll go back and give you an example as to when and how you might use them and how they will apply. So remember, it's Advanced English Lessons with Harry, and these are advanced words, vocabulary relating and other ways to say hot in English. Okay? And remember, as always, if you enjoy this particular lesson, then enjoy the video, like the video, and if you can, subscribe to my channel. It really helps. Okay, so let's look at these. So we've got 12 particular words that mean hot. Soaring, usually when we talk about temperature, soaring. It's boiling, boiling hot. Stifling, stifling hot. It's roasting. Sizzling. It's burning. Tropical. Sweltering. Scorching, or it is scorching. Steamy. Sultry. And then finally, baking hot, baking hot. Okay, I'm going to go through each of them and give you an example when you might use them. Okay, so the first one, soaring. Well, when temperatures are soaring, they are going up very, very quickly. So you might be getting used to temperatures of 17, 18, 19 in the early part of the summer. And then as we get into the middle of the summer, temperatures start to soar. So the weather forecast man might say, and temperatures are soaring this week into the high 20s. You can expect temperatures of 27 to 30. And then some days you might get even higher. So the temperatures soar. They go up really, really quickly, like a bird soaring high in the sky. Soaring. It's boiling hot. Okay, so when something is boiling hot, of course, if you're boiling water for the kettle for the tea, well, then you'll know when it boils because the water starts to bubble, yeah? But when we feel it's boiling, you say, oh, I'm not used to this heat. It's boiling outside. Now, it might be 22 or 24, but it might be the early days of the summer when you've been used now to the winter and the spring. So, oh, it's boiling today. I don't feel like doing anything, meaning the temperature is really, really hot. And you can be sitting in a classroom, a stuffy old classroom, and it's boiling and you're feeling like you're falling asleep because the teacher won't open the windows. So, please, sir, please, Miss, can we open the windows? It's boiling in here, meaning it's really, really hot. Yeah, and you have to be really careful when you park your car, particularly if you've got a pet, not to close the windows because it'll heat up very quickly and the dog will get very, very sick. So it's boiling. You shouldn't leave dogs in cars when it's boiling. Stifling. Stifling is that condition when you can hardly breathe. Yeah, so you walk into a room with the windows closed, a teacher or the professor has been talking for a couple of hours, and when you walk in, it's like hitting a wall of heat. Whoa, it's stifling. I can hardly breathe. So you're pulling at your collar. Can't breathe at all. It's stifling. So when it's stifling hot, it means difficult to breathe. You can feel the heat when you breathe in. It's stifling. It's roasting. Well, like roasting meat on the barbecue. You'll know when you can hear it roasting. So roasting is another way to describe hot weather. Oh, it's a great day to go to the beach. It's roasting today. So we'll be beside the sea. We can jump in whenever we like. We can lie on the sand and we'll be dry in seconds. It's really, really hot. It's roasting. Yeah, or it's roasting hot out there. So again, the weather forecast man might say, well, guys, you've got to be really careful today. It's roasting hot out there. Remember to put on that factor 30, or if they're kids, put on that factor 50 sun cream to protect yourselves. It's a roasting hot day. Sizzling. Well, again, when we use the barbecue, meat sizzles when it begins to get very hot. You can hear it sizzling, yeah? So, and when you're driving along the roads, the tarmac on the streets gets soft, or if you're walking, your feet almost stick to the ground. It's so hot to say, whoa, it's sizzling. You can see the evaporation of water and things in the air, and it's almost visible, and so it's really, really sizzling. You can almost smell the heat. It's so strong, so hot. So a sizzling hot day in downtown New York, a sizzling hot day in downtown Los Angeles. People should be wearing hats, staying in the shade, and wearing as much protection as possible. It's sizzling out there. Burning, well, burning like a fire burns, and if there's a forest fire, the trees will burn. But when we describe something like, oh, it's burning, we just mean it's really, really hot. And when we sit on a seat, we feel the hot plastic of the seat, or the hot wood where the sun has been shining for a couple of hours. And when we sit on that bench or that seat near the ocean, it's, burns our legs if we're wearing shorts or a bikini or something. So it's burning hot. And if you look at somebody who's been lying in the sun for a couple of hours and their skin is very obviously red, you say, oh, you should put a towel on or a t-shirt. You're burning, you look all red. So you got that red color, like as if you burnt your finger or your hand on a hot teapot or on the oven, burning. Tropical. Well, tropical weather is very hot weather. You get those big cloud bursts, but you get the build-up of heat, and it's a real balmy day when you can feel the heat. And when you walk outside, you certainly don't need anything but a t-shirt and shorts, and it's like walking into a furnace, really, really hot, and within a few minutes you are perspiring. So you got that tropical impact, yeah? If you're lucky, you've got a nice tropical sea breeze as well, so it keeps you a little bit cool. But that tropical weather for shorts, t-shirt, walking along a beach, listening to the lapping of the ocean nearby with a very little wave action because there's no wind or very light wind. Tropical. Sweltering. When things are sweltering, we can hardly breathe. We start to sweat. And so if we have to drive in our car, very, very uncomfortable. We have to put the air conditioning at full blast. And so you're ringing home to tell your partner, oh, when I get home, I need a hot shower. It's sweltering in this car. I'm stuck to the seat. It's so hot. Absolutely sweltering. So when you get out of the car, your t-shirt is sticking to you, and what you want to do is just get your clothes off as quickly as possible and jump into the pool or jump into a shower. Sweltering hot. Scorching. It's a scorching day today, and here in Ireland, not so often we have it, but for the last week or so, we've had really nice scorching weather. Temperatures are rising day by day. You go out, the sun is high in the sky is blue. It's a scorching hot day. It's a day for the beach. It's a day for the swimming trunks. It's a day for the sun cream. It's a day for factor 50. So it's a scorching hot day. Oh, we had a scorching hot summer last year. We really had a memorable summer with lots of long, hot days. I wish. So, scorching hot. Steamy. Well, steam is when water boils and you can see the steam rising as the kettle boils or the pan of water boils on the cooker. So when we refer to a steamy day, it's a bit like that, a little bit too hot. You can see the condensation running down the windows, or you might see the water on the lake evaporating or in the river. So it's a steamy day. Everybody is a little bit uncomfortable, perspiration, not so much breeze, and very difficult to breathe. So a steamy day, like being inside a shower with just very hot water, or being inside a sauna when you've got that build-up of the hot coals and you've got lots of steam, so a steamy day. Sultry. Well, sultry is not so much sunny. Sultry is when it's really, really close. Yeah, the air is really, really heavy. That time just before thunderstorms, because thunderstorms are really good because they break up that humidity and the air becomes a lot fresher. But a couple of days before that, you get this sultry weather. You might get overhead clouds, really hot weather conditions, temperature high, not a lot of sun, very uncomfortable to go out and walk or do any real physical exercise. Oh, it's a really sultry day, hard to breathe, you're perspiring all the time, and there's no real sun there. I wish we'd have a big storm so it could break it and we could then go back to a little bit of normal temperatures for a few days and the whole cycle starts again. So a sultry day, heavy, overcast, cloudy, high temperatures. And then finally, it's baking hot. Yeah, so this is just a real exclamation about how the weather is. How's the weather there? Oh, it's baking hot here. You know, I know it's cold at home, but here it's baking hot. We're all in t-shirts and shorts, and after class we go to the local swimming pool and we can't wait to jump in because we really need to get freshened up. So it's baking hot. You can't walk on the sand because the sand is baking hot. You need to put on your flip-flops or your sandals, because if you go in bare feet on the sand, you go, ooh, 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 ooh. Baking hot, your feet will be sore, the soles of your feet will be red with the heat from the sand. So the sand is baking hot, so you run to the edge of the water and dip your feet in there to keep them cool. Okay, so these are 12 particular ways, 12 words that would be alternative to describe hot weather. Okay, so advanced English, but try and use them because they're interchangeable, because lots of times we can use different ones. You might have your favorite word to describe the day, but some of them specific to situations depending on how much air there is or the clouds are heavy or whatever it might be. Okay, let me give them to you one more time. Soaring, like soaring temperatures. Boiling hot. Stifling, no air, stifling. It's roasting in this room. Can we open a window? Sizzling, oh, the sun is sizzling. You can see it on the pavements. The tar macadam is melting. It's sizzling hot. It's burning, wow, really burning. When you walk on that sand, it burns your feet, burning. Tropical. The weather is tropical, like being on a tropical island. Sweltering. Oh, I can't breathe. Every time I move, I'm sweating. I'm sweltering. Scorching. Scorching hot. Steamy, like being inside the sauna. Steamy. Sultry, as I said, with that overhead, clammy conditions, very little air, not a lot of sunshine, very sultry, waiting for that storm to arrive. And then finally, baking hot. Okay, well, as always, I appreciate you listening and watching. And if I can help you, well, of course, write to me. Try to practice those words. They're good to use, good for your vocabulary, good for your spoken English, and also good for your written English. If I can be of any help, let me know. As always, thanks for listening.